our artist Ruth Schmidt from Budapest, Hungary, and I've been meaning to meet her for a long time. So we are in her here at her beautiful studio, and I want to bring her like a taste of what we can do for her and what we can get from her, all these beautiful artwork and everything. So, hi Ruth, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. It's nice that you visited us
Yeah.
in Hungary, especially me.
Yeah, this is our second
We have
meet.
met earlier,
Yes.
but now we have time to talk.
Don't talk, exactly.
And thank you. It's
Exactly.
a good
Thank you
opportunity
for
me.
getting the time to meet. Yeah. So, if you can tell me a little bit about yourself to begin with.
Of course, that's why we are here. So I'm Ruth Schmidt. I live in Hungary, in Budapest. I paint with oil. Usually I paint my dreams. So how can I say? I paint from my soul. So things what happened in the past, things what happened in these days. I always paint something from me. So that's through my paintings you can know me better. As I say, I paint with oil. First I do the graphics, and then I build my paintings layer by layer with oil, and that's how it became to life.
So you like to paint, like your favorite medium is oil.
Yes.
Do you only paint with oil, or do you sometimes use something else? Acrylic?
My paintings I do with oil. Sometimes I do the graphics with acrylic, and then I try to build my paintings with oil. So just for the graphics I use acrylic paintings.
Because it's fast drying.
Yes,
probably why?
yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So do you, so with the oil, I mean, how do you you said that you build layers upon layers. So how do you do that? Because it's usually takes time to dry, right? So what do you do?
Yes. That's why in the same time, I work on multiple paintings. So sometimes it takes almost a week to dry one painting. And in the meantime, I work the other paintings.
Okay.
And that's how I can always do my paintings. So I can do every day if I want.
Okay, excellent. So, so here's my other question. How did you discover your style? You say you do with oil. Have you tried other mediums, or did you fall in love with oil, or what happened?
I fall in love with oil, but first I tried to paint with acrylic paintings. So many years ago, I started to paint. I can't see paint because right now I see what's the paintings. So that was some tryings, and the beginning with acrylic. And I tried to paint my dreams, my imaginations, and I can't do that with acrylic paintings. And I don't have so much things to know, so I don't know as much about the paintings, about the oil, or about acrylic paintings. So I have to learn. So I feel that that's too less of my knowledge to do the paintings what I imagined. Okay.
And so how often do you between the paint, how often do you when you put the layers, because oil is doesn't take time to dry. So how do you do that?
It depends. When I use titanium white, that's a color who dries more than 1 week. So,
right.
But there are some other paintings what dries 24 hours. So it depends which color I use.
You're
yes,
using. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so what's the process? Since you mentioned that, what's the process? Do you do a rough sketch, and is that where you begin, or?
First, so I always have more ideas than time. So, and when I have an idea, I try to take some photos. I do in the places where I think that there can take some photos about the paintings. So first I make in my head, and then when I take some photos and I take some searches about that, then I do the graphics in the paper. And after that, when it's okay, when everything's on her right place, then I do the graphics on the canvas. And then I paint, so I do with acrylic painting on the canvas, and then I start my paintings, my really paint work with.
Right. And how did you discover your style? I mean, the style itself is it seems like you do from landscape to realistic and a lot of animal paintings. And so basically you have a lot of different styles going on here. So Is it?
If you can see on my website that there are two maps on my website.
Mm-hmm.
There are study paintings, there are modern paintings, and there are a map with symbolist and surrealist paintings. So when I started to learn from my master from Gostoni Kálmán, in the first 3 years, I made almost just study paintings. I copied Rembrandt and different masters, different old masters, to learn the style. The style. How can I do that? And my master teach me different styles. And he always told me that if you learn everything, you can choose what you will use in the paintings.
Right.
And that's why I have so many study paintings. I have so many things in different styles. When I feel that my knowledge is enough to paint my imagination,
Right.
then it was a short time when I painted some Mondrian and Andy Warhol inspired paintings, because there was one gallery who wanted these paintings for me.
Okay.
And exactly that time, together with the modern paintings, I started my symbolist and surrealist paintings in realist style. So the topic was surrealist and the symbolist. And usually, and I worked with some animals. I love to use animals in my symbolist paintings, because every hard topics can get through with cute animals, and everybody loves animals, me too. And I started to go to some competitions, some exhibitions, and the answer was really good. So they liked my paintings, and I like to do that thing, so I find my way. After that, I don't know, 4 years. Through the 4 years, I painted everything. And in 21 was the first solo exhibition. So I had exhibitions before, but that was the first. But I can call it my first real exhibition. And from there until these days, I paint just surrealist and symbolist paintings in realist style.
And where was this solo exhibition?
Here was in Budapest in the Secret Gallery.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm on the beginning of my way, I think so.
Right. Yeah. And so I see. So you said that you paint animals quite a bit, and I love animals, so I love to paint animals too. So I try to paint usually endangered animals or people, animals that people don't get to see. So for instance, these sheep that you painted, did you take pictures of these sheep, or these are domesticated animals, right? I'm not the meerkat, but the sheep. Do you take pictures and then drop them there? Okay.
My father-in-law has so many sheep.
Oh, okay.
And not all of them are from my father-in-law, but for example, this one, that's my father-in-law's sheep.
Okay. So is any of the sheep you?
No.
The meerkat,
I think that's not about. About the meerkat. Yeah.
Because the meerkat, you earlier said one of the meerkats was you, right? Can you describe that a little bit?
The name of the paintings is Sweet Burden, so that's about the motherhood.
Sweet Burden.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And there is the meerkat mom, so that's my mom. We are 5 kids in the family. I'm the smallest, so as you can see there.
You're going for the real thing? Yeah.
And,
okay.
So usually I paint about myself, but I don't paint myself as my face.
Right.
I use some other faces. I don't like to paint myself.
Right. Okay. But the sheep was there's anything like that went into it, or just 5 sheep standing, 6 sheep standing? Did you have anything in mind for the sheep, or?
Yes, of course. First I have another idea.
Okay.
So my first idea was many sheep, and somewhere on the middle one hoof, and because as you can see, that's not sheep.
Okay.
So he had the legs and the tail, so that's not a real friend, because the painting's name is French sheeps.
Is what?
French sheeps.
Okay.
And as you can see, they are different.
Yeah.
That's the funny one, and they are different and the most blind. So that's not cheap. And that's about the friendships what I have experienced, So
Okay.
sometimes everything's good and everything seems perfect, but you will know who is your real friend.
Okay. So instead of friendship, you're like friendship, right? I mean,
Yes,
like sheep.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
I got it. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. And this was entirely in oil, right?
Excuse
This
me?
was done entirely in oil?
Yes,
Well,
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. And so since you have so many different things going on, I mean, what do you call your style? Would you call it more surreal or realistic or? Surrealistically real?
The topics of my paintings are surrealist and symbolist topics,
Okay.
but I paint in realist style.
Okay. You got it. Okay. So the next question I have is, so with all of this, like sometimes it's easy to see what inspires someone. I mean, what inspires you? Just like your dreams or everything that has some relation with you, some experience that you came across, or what actually inspires you to make these paintings?
Everything inspires me. So when I travel, I see the sky, the colors of the sky, or when I travel, I see a scene, some animals do something or anything, and then I take pictures. So in two different way I do my paintings. The first, if see something what inspires me, I do photos, I do my paintings then, and I try to find some really good name, to be hard.
Okay.
The other way is when I have something in my mind, I do pictures. I do some pictures about that topic, and then I do my paintings. So that's the two ways. Everything can inspire me. Everything.
Okay. Yeah. So you haven't started making art that long back. So it's been a few years. I mean, not yesterday, but a few years, not too many years. So what inspired you? I mean, did something inspire you? Did something cause you to start making art? Like usually when people, like artists, they start in their school days or in their colleges, right? I mean, not late in their life or at least midlife, right? So is there something that said that Ruth, you must start painting?
I always loved art, but as I see, we are 5 siblings, so I wanted to go to art university. But my mother, my father, so my family don't have so much money, so they can't afford it. And I forget that dream, And a few years ago, I did some painting on paper for my niece because she asked me. And I do that painting, and she put them on the wall at home. And somebody was in their home who is an art teacher.
Oh wow!
And he told me that I have to paint with some real materials, like canvas, acrylic things, and that's how it started my career, or how it started my paintings. And at the time, I worked for 3 lawyers. I was an assistant for 3 lawyers, and I had a long weekend. I go in the shop where we can buy that things for art. And I called the guy that, okay, what's the name of the paint, what I should buy? And that's how it started.
Okay. Yeah, and you said that there was a master who taught you a lot of these things, right? Who was it again?
He's Kalman Gasztonyi.
Okay, how do you spell his last name?
Gasztonyi Kalman.
Kalman Gasztonyi.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Got it. Were there any challenges along the way when you started, after you started to paint, or any challenges you had to face? Most artists face a lot of challenges. So, anything challenging that came across to you?
The biggest challenge was to believe that I can do. That was the biggest challenge. Because first I don't have the knowledge, the knowledge to paint things. Because I had my dreams in that time as well, and I tried to do the paintings, but it was terrible. So, and when you try and can do something, you think that you can't at all.
Despair, yeah.
And that was the place when I observed that I have to learn to do that things. So first challenge was that I can't do that.
Right.
And now as I do better and better, I can see that my second challenge is that if you do art, you have to do so many things around, like the competitions, like so to do some photos to put on your website, to put everything on your website. So that's so many work around. So I think that's the shortest time when you paint your paintings.
Yeah. So basically promoting yourself.
That's not so.
These days, especially, like you're on Instagram all the time, and make sure that you're seen by other people.
Yeah. That's
I mean, you could be the best, talent and best craftsman skill. Yeah, if people can see you, then you're pretty much nothing, because they don't know about you, right?
Exactly. So. And the third challenge, I think, that's because I live here in Hungary. I do my art here, but I don't have any art university degree or something like this. And Hungary works some other kind, like than, for example, from the USA or US. Because in Hungary, first, if you want to exhibit somewhere, you have to go there. You have to show your CV, where you have exhibited, and so and so and so. And if they like your CV, then you can show your work. As I observed in USA, I have to show my work, and if they think that's enough good, then you have to show your CV. But if they're interested in your art, they don't matter who are you, where you're from, they can pick you up. And in Hungary, that's some closed word, the art word, so you can't go through.
Like bureaucratic, you have to be be someone or like show somewhere to, and it's a catch-22 situation. Then if you don't show, then unless
that's why I think and as I can see, I have to be somebody.
Yes.
In, for example, in USA or in US or something. If I want to see here, the people are me.
Right.
So that's complicated and that's funny and
because to become somebody you have to show, but then you can't show because you're not somebody.
Exactly.
You're just stuck in a loop.
Yeah, that's a funny question.
Yeah. So something, anything funny that came along the way, like any funny story that you have that you can share about, your art or your, even life story that you want to share with.
Oh, I have multiple stories about it than when I tried to do, and I worked on 3 weeks, and then I take the canvas from the frame. So I do all the time this one. For example, okay. I have the paintings over there with squirrels, and the first that name Lost Adam, and the first time I do in that canvas in some other canvas. I worked 1 day, I worked 2 days. Oh, I see, that's terrible. Oh, that will be good. I worked 3 days. Oh, that's terrible. I worked in 4 days, and then the 4 days, I told myself, okay, let's start again. And I used some, and I choose some other canvas, and I started with graphics. And it happens all the time. So when I work on the paintings a lot, and I see that it's not okay, it's not good enough. That's a study for me. Don't do a second or third day, just start over.
Right. So what do you do with the old canvas? Do you paint it over, like start over on that other things on that, or?
I pack them and I throw them in the bin.
Trash bin.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. How did you hear about, like, you've been an artist with us for a long time now. I mean, you've been in the first art bias, there's one of those paintings that we're going to show later on downstairs in your, studio. So where did you hear about Teravarna? I mean, we were Art Show International back then, but how did you hear about Teravarna?
first I heard about the Teravarna from the Golden Duck Gallery, from the Budapest,
Right,
RBS. And I participated, as you said, in the first RBS. And there we met first, and there I met Teravarna first.
Okay. Do you what do you think about Teravarna? Do you have anything to? What do you think we are? I mean, are we meeting up to your expectation, or is there something that you want us to do?
I think you are more than my expectations. So you are really funny, kind, and the team and the whole team. So they are really kind with me, and I appreciate very much that you came to Hungary to visit me. So I think that your gallery cares about the artist, that they are artists, and that means a lot to us because. You came here from USA, you visited me, you do a video, so you don't have to. But you know how to care about your artist. And I think Teravarna is, as I see, is growing. And your work on became more better. So for the gallery, for the exhibitions and everything. And I think Teravarna Gallery will be a really good success, and I want to be part of it.
Yeah, I really hope you're part of it because I really love your. I mean, I met you. I've seen your work. Obviously, when you submitted your work to the different competitions. I've seen, for instance, the sheet one and the one downstairs. But I was, to be honest, blown away when I visited your studio. I was like, does she have is she selling like other people's art? I mean, I couldn't imagine that you have so much. So this is like really a pleasant surprise for me and for us. So we will definitely. Probe you more and have more connection definitely. Is there something that you want Teravarna to do that we are not already doing? Because we like to hear from you guys, and I mean obviously we're not doing a lot of things, but we are starting to come up with things that we think we should do. And one of the innovative ideas was like getting interviews from the really good artists, really talented ones who don't have that much clout or they have a lot of possibilities, but they don't have a lot of boost or promotion or elsewhere. So we're trying to do that. That's why, basically, very, very huge talent, but they're emerging and people don't, recognize them because they don't know them. So that's what we are doing. But is there anything else that you want us to, or as an artist, you would love for us to do?
As an artist, that's a good thing. That's a really huge thing that you visited me. As you can say, as you said, I wouldn't say I don't have possibilities, but I don't have so much time to do, Insta posts and to promote my stuff.
Yes.
And that's a really big help for me. In the future, I would like to participate in your exhibitions, in some other exhibitions, or I don't know. Every physical exhibition interested me,
Yeah. We have physical exhibitions in the LA Art Show. We show that.
I have checked you.
Yeah, you have next year we'll have
places.
that again. So it's massive. It's really good. And if you're there in the LA Art Show, I definitely invite you to come to the US because you would be able to network and get to know a lot of artists and
In this April, I was in New York.
Okay.
Because I win some competition and they take me to the New York Art Expo in this April. I was there.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So if you go to the West Coast, we are right there. So we are in LA. I mean, we are in
I love that
Southern
place.
California.
I love that place.
Yeah, just we take you to Hollywood maybe and Universal Studios. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, this was really nice talking to you. But thank you very much for taking the time to talk to Teravarna, talk to us.
Thank you very much for visiting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.